Dad Mod's Media Machine presents the Brews with the Dudes podcast.
That you leave here.
I don't have any water bottles here anymore.
Well,
those are beer cans.
how good are you at swapping? Yeah, that's the trickiest part, though. Like for me, the hardest part, anytime I've ever had to use multiple cans taking a leak, is the whole like switching between the two of them.
Oh yeah, because your first thought is like, don't get pee on yourself. But regardless, you should wash your hands afterwards, whether or not you pee all over them anyway.
Yeah.
So like, just go for it.
Well, and once you come off of the receptacle, you know, like you're peeing into the hole of the can, once you come off of that, there's going to be spray.
Yeah.
You know, that piss is going somewhere, so it's going to ricochet off of the can, and then it like sprays wherever it's going to spray. And with a can, it's got a rolled ridge, so it kind of like sprays back at you.
This is like Tony Hawk grind around the lip of the
It
can.
pretty much does, dude.
Flash all over your shorts.
It's bad. And then you end up with like piss, and that's like the worst thing when you're a dude and you've got clear like drips anywhere around the genitals. Everybody just goes like, "Oh, did you shake too much? Did you not shake enough?" Like
You clearly pissed yourself.
yeah, exactly. You fucked up, homie.
So I actually have a story to share with you.
Okay, well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Brews with the Dudes podcast, the podcast that nobody watches but everybody loves.
Yeah, it'd be like an OnlyFans account for Meatloaf.
Exactly. I am Jake Lindquist.
I'm Donnie Allen.
And we're glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you, all four of you.
Yep.
Took up to 4.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've got like 7 listeners on Anchor.
Anchor?
I think that's the data from Anchor.
Oh, fucking sweet.
Yeah, I mean 7 listeners. Wow.
That's fantastic.
That's pretty fucking wild, man.
We're almost a double digits.
Yeah, I bet you Hoonigan gets that in half a second on one of their
probably.
videos, but you know, that's okay. I mean, even our dad mods videos at this point are, you know, I want to say within like, we didn't even announce that the electrical shoebox video was going to be coming out. And when that dropped, I want to say in the first hour, we had like 50 hits or something like that.
I think you're right.
Like it was really good.
And I looked the other day, we were at 599 subscribers.
Yeah, we're about to hit 600. It's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Like we lost a little bit of our progress. We were seeing like 30 subs a month. Now we're closer to 20. I think we're like 22 or something like that right now.
But we're also not, we've been so busy wrenching nonstop that we haven't put out any content. And we haven't been active because we're just busy.
The video I just edited was 4 videos worth.
Yeah, you didn't release a video. It's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's our first Dad Mods featured film.
It pretty much is.
It's probably sponsored by Liongate.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's MGM. Yeah, man, it was a bear to edit, and it's over an hour long, and we usually average around 15 minutes on our videos, 15 to 20. So it's roughly 3 to 4 videos worth.
Oh, easily.
So they'll start coming out a lot faster now that we kind of like are a little more in the swing of things, and it's a little more like straightforward stuff. Like electrical was fucking 3 months of filming.
It's all custom. It's all one-off build to the car.
And all of it has to be explained for the most part. I mean, some stuff I just had to skimp because it would have been an hour and a half long video if I would have gone into detail on every little thing.
It's not like hanging up the exhaust manifold where you're like, okay, so you just put the bolts in.
Yeah.
No, you got to explain how the system works and how it needs to be grounded a certain way. And does it need 12 volts? Does it need less than 12 volts?
Oh, yeah.
Do you need a resistor? Do you need a diode? Do you need a relay for it? There's so much shit.
Well, and the funny thing is, on top of the electrical video, there are 3 offshoot supportive videos that are coming out of that as well. It's the tail lights, the turn signals, and the gauges. Yeah. So it's a shitload of wiring stuff.
Don't say shitload to me.
No.
I have a dad story to share whenever you're
perfect.
talking about dad moments.
Perfect. That's what we like.
Do you want a beer first before we talk about
Yes,
shit?
please. Is that where you were going? Like, I had interrupted when we did the intro. Were you about to talk about poop or something?
Yes, I was about to talk about poop.
I didn't mean to completely
that's fine. We
you off.
tend to get to farts and poop at some point in time on the podcast.
It's inevitable, yeah. It's one of our favorite topics.
Well, this isn't what I had to share with you, but this beer might give you this shit, so I apologize in advance.
Great.
Last time out, you said, and I quote, "I'm sorry we've been doing a lot of IPAs." Mm-hmm. This isn't an IPA.
Oh, great.
It's not a stout, though, either.
Okay.
But it's fucking weird.
It's weird.
It's something I saw. I'm like, I have to try this.
Oh,
so
boy.
you're just suckered into doing it.
Okay. I might have to run in and get booze. Get my scotch. Oh, what? I think I know which one this is. Peanut butter honey blonde. Okay.
So it
contains bees?
that's what they say. It contains fucking bees. You know, because let's take an endangered animal and make a beer with them.
Contains bees. Are they like ground up?
Maybe. You gotta watch out for the stingers.
That's amazing. Well, you have to drink through your teeth.
Okay. It filters them out a little bit. Uh-huh. You're not allergic to bees, are you?
No.
Your throat's not gonna swell up on this?
There's a kind of hornet that my dad's super allergic to that I might be, but it's a hornet, not a bee.
Yeah, it should be fine.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of honey in my life.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, I don't know, I call an ambulance for you.
That's great. That'd be good video.
That'd be fantastic.
Like that one time that your wife went into labor on the podcast. That's the funny thing is like this podcast doesn't get that much traffic, but it's had some epic moments. Is that this is gonna be disgusting smell look? Oh no, that smells. It smells like booze.
No, yeah, it just smells like alcohol.
Weird. It smells like Jack Daniel's honey whiskey. Oh,
It's good. It's not.
oh, that was a good idea.
Yeah, it tastes like a sandwich. I'm sorry. It's like to me, it tastes like a sandwich.
Dude, this is 100% drinking a sandwich. God damn it! I wish I could drink a beer without having it fucking rolled on my face.
Yeah, I feel like I'm eating a PB&J right now.
Yeah, no joke.
awesome.
That's really funny. I do feel like I'm having a sandwich. That's really good. That's really good. So tell me about poop.
Okay, so this is my Saturday, by the way.
Yeah, your Saturday.
So as you know, Saturday, you guys don't know. Let me fill you in. We met Jake down in Carlton, which is about 20 minutes south of us, for a local car show. I brought myself, my daughter, my oldest daughter, and my son. Okay, so just the three of us. We were there for about 40 minutes, and then we were going to head from Carlton to a high school called Marshall, which is in the central portion of Duluth, for a Greek festival called Taste of Greece.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we're
Taste of
meeting the wife there, and my mom and stepdad and my sister and all that there for lunch. They're doing construction on I-35 North, as you know, for about a mile, I'd say. And you just can't get off the highway. It's construction. It's one lane.
Oh, no.
So we're in the construction, and I hear from the back seat from Roman, I gotta pee. Okay, buddy. What? I can't go anywhere. Like you're gonna have to wait till we get there.
Yeah.
There's literally nowhere for me to stop. There's not even a gas station on the route to get there. A minute, two goes by. Daddy, I gotta pee. Okay, buddy. Like you're gonna have to hold it. I don't hear shit out of him the entire way up to Marshall. And from Carlton to Marshall, it's probably a half-hour drive.
Oh, boy.
We get there. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, all right, buddy, let's get out of the car so we can go pee. And I go to pick him up, and he is drenched. He pissed himself in the car.
Awesome.
So I'm like, I don't even have wipes with me. I don't have to change of clothes. Like I didn't bring the baby with, so I didn't bring anything. And I think about it. So I'm like, all right, buddy. Well, you're gonna wear piss covered shorts. Like you're just stuck wearing that for lunch.
You guys didn't turn around and ditch the event. You just made the little thing walk around and piss.
You like, I'm here to get a euro, man. So
oh my god.
Let's go ahead.
I wonder at what age his therapist is going to hear this story.
Oh, there's more to this story.
Oh boy.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
The shitberg.
So we go in, we stand in line, we get our lunch. We finish I finished my lunch. He's pretty much finished. My wife is still nibbling on her food. And I have to take a shit. So I get up. He's like, I got to go to the bathroom. Perfect. I got to go to the bathroom too. Let's go. We walk in. Marshall, again, is a high school. There's no changing table. There's no wipes. It's just stalls and urinals. We walk in. He goes over to the urinal. He whips it out. He pees. Cool. awesome, dude. I got a shit. Come stand in the stall with me. We go in. About 20 seconds later, somebody goes into the stall next to us. That's a very important detail. As I'm halfway through just emptying my bowels into this bowl, he says, "Daddy, I gotta poop." All right, buddy. Well, you can't go next door because we have there's the wall and the used stall on the other side, and I'm in the middle of shitting. Like I can't stop my body just doing its thing. You're gonna have to hold it, buddy. 30 seconds goes by. "Daddy, I have to poop." "Okay, man. Like I'm still going. You still hearing stuff hit water. Like I can't force any of this. Like I have no control over this right now.
You're still hearing stuff hit water.
I'm still shitting.
Oh boy.
And then he goes quiet. And I look at him and he's got this very just stern face. It's a little red. I'm like, Are you shitting yourself?" It's exactly what I asked. Like, are you shitting yourself? He shakes his head yes.
Oh no.
The second he stops shaking his head yes, fucking turd comes out of his shorts and hits the floor.
Oh yuck, dude.
And then another turd.
Oh my god.
Out of the other fucking leg.
You know.
And I'm just like, fucking, what did I even do here?
Well, nothing. Man, okay, like this is movie material. You write a script off of these moments.
I'm gonna have to.
I love that little detail. This is pure comedy of like he just goes silent. He starts turning a little red. Turd falls out of one leg. Turd falls out of the other leg. that is good comedy.
He just looked at me, just shook. Cause he didn't even say yes. He just shook his head. Shit. And I'm like, okay, well, I finished my stuff. I wipe. I kind of clean them up the best I can. Wipe the shit up off the floor. Oh, man. And I'm flushing this toilet probably 4 or 5 fucking times. Mm-hmm. And so the guy next to me probably just thinks like we just performed an exorcism or something.
Right, because you're picking the turds off the floor and you're throwing them in the bowl and then you're flushing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's hearing
you're wiping the kid.
He's hearing this kid cry and everything.
He was crying.
Not crying, but he was whiny about it, which I would be too.
Yeah. You didn't have any wipes to clean him up
so
with, huh?
We wash our hands, and I just get him outside. Like, let's just get out of the building. Like, so if more shit falls out of your pants, like, well, at least we're outside.
Yeah. We're not in the middle of a crowded room.
Exactly.
There's all of a sudden a turd on the floor.
We get outside, and I call Christine. I'm like, you have to come out here now.
Yeah.
She's like, I need to finish eating. I'm like, no, now. Like, I don't give a shit. Get out here now.
Oh, no.
Luckily, she drove separately. She was going to take the kids swimming afterwards, so she had all the wipes and swim trunks for him.
So he had swim trunks?
So we got out to the car. She wiped him down. We put the shorts, the wipes, all in a bag. The whole thing got fucking tossed. And he got swim trunks on, and that was that.
It all works out.
But it's like, dude, you pissed yourself and shit yourself in a matter of like an hour.
Thank goodness for moms.
Yeah.
What would we do without moms?
I'm like, I just don't even know what to fucking do. I was just a little stressed. We were running that's everything.
That's rough. Because you're in a moment of panic where you're like, oh no, like this kid he pissed himself and then crapped himself. Like, holy shit, what do I do with this? I don't have any spare clothes. And you go through your mind of like, okay, well, is there anywhere where I can grab clothes quick? No.
Yeah, well, it's not like we're at a Walmart or something like that.
You're so far away from anywhere where you can just purchase a pair of shorts. Maybe there's a dollar store in Central Entrance.
There's not even a proper place to clean them up.
No, there really
isn't.
There's
nothing. Like all I had was the shitty toilet paper that's in the high school there.
Ugh.
And it's like if we were at a Walmart, it's like I could go buy a pack of wipes real quick and just go back to the bathroom and wipe them down.
Well, yeah, and the toilet paper they have there is probably like ream paper that's for a printer or something. It's
just cheap shit.
It doesn't work. It's not gonna clean you up. You're just smearing it around.
Yeah, it's fucking. It was such a bad experience.
That's rough. And thank goodness for the wife coming out.
Yeah, she took the kids swimming, and I went and just worked on the car.
You were just done. You guys left, and then you were done.
Yeah, I'm just gonna work on the car.
You didn't try and go back in.
No.
No, fucking over
this. You shit on the floor. We're going home.
That's true. That's sort of the final straw. Did you get your euro?
I did get my euro.
Oh, there you go.
I got a euro and a baklava.
Nice. So it's all worth it then.
Oh yeah. It all happened after that. Thankfully. Just like.
Jesus.
Because you said you had to go to the bathroom, so when he went pee in the urinal, I'm like, oh, that's it. Like, we're done. That's all you got to do. Like, you can stand for 5-10 minutes. No.
No.
No. There's no communication on his part. All he had to say was, Dad, I got to shit. And I'd be like, okay, you go first, and then I'll do it.
Oh, my God. That's fucking nuts, dude. Well, it's just so funny, like, all these little moments that you get with your kids that are like that, where it's just kind of like it's something out of a sitcom.
Yeah,
it's like it's out of a movie or whatever.
In the moment, you're stressed. You're pissed off at the situation. You're not pissed off at the kid, and you're just struggling. And now, 3-4 days later, you're just laughing about it.
I know.
That's all you
isn't
can do.
that
That's
funny?
all you can do. It's like, oh yeah, my kid literally pissed and shit himself.
That is one of the funniest things, and it's helped me to be a little more, I guess, calm in those moments. Okay, so like, irritating situations will happen, and I'll find myself getting like really frustrated with it. I'll lose my sense of humor about it, and when you look back on them, and one beautiful thing is by filming so much of what we're projects and stuff like that, it kind of trains you to like look back and go, oh, like I'm watching the video afterwards. It's really fucking funny, but like, look at my attitude during this part.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, well, I was all fussy about it.
Yeah, you're fussy over something dumb.
And now I'm finding it fucking hilarious. So maybe I should have that attitude from the jump. And that starts to kind of train you to lighten up even when frustrating things happen, because in those situations, it's a hell of a memory.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, my whole week's just been...
Oh, man.
Not any more events like that, but just kid involvement.
That happens like once a year with kids, where you get like that
Usually.
just gold moment of just like comedy.
Well, Harper started soccer this week.
Nice.
And I'm the soccer coach.
Nice.
So it's a bunch of 4 and 5-year-olds, and we actually had all the kids at practice yesterday. And I've never coached 5-year. I've coached teenagers, but I've never coached 5-year-olds. And 5-year-olds, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh,
like
interesting.
We had to work on like, you guys are gonna go this direction, and just very little stuff.
I suppose.
And at one point in time, I'm explaining what we're gonna do, and this little girl goes, "Can I go hug my mom?" And then
That's cute.
Like, yeah, I'm like after this we'll get water and stuff, and then like another kid like, I want to hug my mom too, and then all of a sudden they all wanted to hug their parents. Like, okay, we're gonna take a hug break.
That's so cute.
Go hug your parents so we can get back to this. Because at that age, like I can't, like I can boss them around if I wanted to, but then they're not gonna have any fun. And the number one thing is they have to enjoy it so they stick with it.
Exactly.
So yeah, so we took a hug break halfway through practice because one little girl.
I mean, like, why couldn't high
hug.
school football teams do the same? Go hug your teacher. Go hug your girlfriend. Go hug your parent.
But then the same little girl. So we were playing 4-on-4 as a little scrimmage, and her team scored a goal, but she didn't touch the ball the entire time they had possession. And so she gets all sad. She's like, "No one passed me the ball." Like,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like, you guys are so little.
Oh,
like,
kiddo.
you're not there yet. You're like, just chase the ball. That's what you got to work on.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's just funny.
Kids are cute, man.
Had one girl pointing out the clouds.
I'm just pointing
Yeah,
at.
we stopped practice at one point in time. They're in the middle of a drill, and somebody was walking a dog by, and they all fucking stopped and looked at the dog.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Like, okay, I guess
Kids, man, kids are the
that's
best.
what we're gonna do. We're just gonna look at the dog.
That would be a really neat experience, and that's one of those like super quintessential dad situations. Like, I'm the coach of the blah 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 team.
Yeah,
that's such a thing.
What's weird though is 2 of the parents I graduated high school with.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So it was really
Wow.
fucking weird because I'm like, I know you two.
Wow, that is weird. So the parents come up afterwards, and you're just like, "Hey, I'm your kid's coach."
Yeah, pretty much. Like, how's
cool.
it going? I remember that friend request you sent me that I just ignored because we never really talked in high school.
Yup.
Guess who's gonna get emails from me now?
Okay, so that's actually, I'm glad that you brought that up. How do you handle that? How do you handle it? Like, okay, so I went to a little school, podunk nowhere, 500 kids in the entire K through 12 school, tiny.
God, I think I graduated like 350 or something
And
dumb.
when I graduated, 350 in your class.
Yeah.
When I after I graduated, I had no interest in any kind of contact with any of these people. And then Facebook rolled out because I graduated in 2002. Facebook was like kind of hitting the scene 2006 and starting to get pretty popular around then.
Well,
a lot of people were between then and 2009. A lot of people.
I didn't
signed
graduate
up.
high school until 2009, so most of us
Right.
had Facebook.
Sure,
Which,
but by that point, everybody's like trying to friend request me and stuff like that,
Yeah.
especially like by 2009, everybody. And I just was like, fuck. It's like, I'm never going to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have any real friendship with you. Like, it's basically so you can just keep tabs on me.
Yeah. Do you really
Like,
want to?
what's the point?
Like, are you really that interested in me posting pictures of my car, my kids, or my dogs?
Yeah.
Because I don't really give a shit that you and your kids went to the Dells over the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry,
That's
not
the
to sound
thing,
like an
is,
asshole, but you going on a family trip has no significance to me.
we kind of all pretend like these things matter, but they really don't.
Yeah.
So I have always had like mixed feelings about it. And actually, the funny thing is, and I realized this, I'm gonna be a little vulnerable here. I realized that a big part of why it was because I was an awkward kid in high school. Like I was listen to Pantera and Cannibal Corpse, and I had spiked hair and like chains, and I wore like camo pants and stuff like that. I was like one of those kids, right? So I was a little bit awkward, and I'm a little embarrassed of that period of time, which is just, it's being a kid,
Yeah.
but you know, it's definitely an awkward phase. So afterwards, like I wasn't super, like I was really excited to move on to a new stage in my life, kind of figure myself out again, try something different, and I didn't want like my past following me.
I could definitely see that. For me, it was like I had that mindset in high school of like I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like why should I give you time and date now when, like you said, in 3 years I'm not gonna give a fuck what you're doing in life. We're gonna go our own separate ways. So you get all these people that are wrapped up in school spirit and all that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna give a shit. I graduated from this school the day I walk out of here.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's a weird fucking feeling, and I think you're right though that the whole like we should still be friends online is you're keeping tabs, or you want to be able to compare your life to my life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you really cared, you'd try and have a friendship with me.
Yeah,
but,
you'd say, hey, let's go out and have a drink sometime.
yeah, but that doesn't ever happen, which is the irony in all of it. So it's odd.
There's both ways though. There's a couple buddies I graduated high school with that we hung out not a lot in high school, but we did hang out quite a bit, and we're still friends on social media. Mm-hmm. And it's a bummer because I wish we would. I have a friend named Cody. Was into soccer a little bit, but he was actually from Kansas City, and we just had a lot in common. We got along great in high school, hung out quite a bit, and then he joined the military, and I went off to college, and we talk on social media once in a while, but we never hang out. And it's like, well, it's cool to stay in touch, but again, like what's going on with your life doesn't affect my life, and vice versa.
Exactly.
And one of these
know,
days, I just need to hit him up, like, dude, let's go get a beer. I haven't talked to you in like 8 years. Let's go get a beer.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's like the ideal approach, I suppose. That's the value in having old people from your past still being connected with you. Yeah. You know, it's and to kind of come back around to the whole like who I was in high school being like something I didn't necessarily want to like carry on. I wanted to kind of like move on from it. So there was my school is no longer a school. Like they closed the fucker because it was so small.
Is that a prison?
No, it's really cool. They closed it, turned it into apartments in some sections.
Sweet.
And then a bunch of like, you can just rent rooms and make your own business.
Oh,
So
that's
basically,
sweet.
it's like this big business collective.
That's a really good idea.
In a
really good
town
idea.
where the only thing you could do to open up a business would be to like
Buy property and build it.
And so there's a huge barrier to entry. But now that they did that, and then it also hosts, because it's a school, it's got the auditorium and all that stuff, so it can host events and shit.
That's a really good idea.
It's killer.
That's a
and
smart
actually,
idea.
Something that we should do in the future at some point
By a
is
school?
they have lawnmower races there occasionally.
shit.
So we need to build a lawnmower to go and shred.
Just for shits and giggles, we'll build one riding and one push. Just to fuck with everybody.
A push would be amazing, especially if you like stood on tires or something.
Put a big fucking racer pipe up it and all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, that'd be so funny because if it'll pull you,
I could just
would be so fucking
get one
funny.
of those off-road skateboards.
Oh man, how would you do that? Yeah, a mountain board.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So okay, like afterwards we so the school is no longer a thing. It got turned into that, right? Many years it got turned into that later. So there was attempts at, because we were never really able to have reunions right? Because our class is super small, and a couple of them are drug addicts. Some of them moved away. Like,
Makes it hard to have a reunion.
Yeah, it does. It makes it a huge pain in the ass to have a reunion. So what they did was they had just kind of get-togethers a couple of times, and at this point, like, I was so not like secure and like established in life and shit, and so I was just kind of like, I don't want to go see these people and then talk about like how fucking whacked out my life is.
This sounds like there's a movie that's like this that you need to fucking see.
Yeah. So fast forward to recently. So okay, I graduated in 2002. We're coming up on, I mean, what would it be, like my
20 year
my 20 year would be coming up here this next year.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy to say out loud. So I'm at the point now where I'm kind of like, I kind of like to run into these people because life's going fucking great. I am not this insecure, awkward kid anymore.
You got a wife, you have your own kids, you're doing your own things.
Like, I look a lot better than some of my peers. Like, I've continued to take care of myself, so it's kind of funny. So now it's like, I kind of want to, it's going to sound stupid, but I'm like, I wouldn't mind running into him. So I feel like I'd be like, what's up, guys?
We had our
you look terrible.
We had our 10-year 2 years ago, and I think we were out of town. The wife's like, oh, did you want to go to yours? Like, no.
No, I could be your date. That'd be funny.
That would be hilarious. I'd still refer to you as my wife. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. I keep referring to you as she the entire time.
Right, and I just feel like I'm a power bottom. Yeah.
It can take a pounding.
Gross. We could just go and be as awkward as fucking possible. That'd be really funny.
just to be fucking weird, I'd wear a suit with the floaties.
No, dude. We go as Dumb and Dumber, Harry and Lloyd. Harry and Lloyd.
So we have to rent a mini bike.
We'd ride there on a mini bike. We don't have to rent?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, we'd build one.
Yeah, we'd build one for like $300.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be so fucking good.
My ass
if we
off.
rolled up in the suits on the mini bike.
First person I'd see, I'd just toss the keys out and be like, fill it up with premium, and then fucking walk in like a badass.
And as you walk in, I crack you in the back with the cane. Oh my god. We don't gotta pretend to be gay. We could just be really awkward.
So just be ourselves.
Just go like hit on everybody regardless of gender. What's up?
So you come here a lot?
Oh my god, there's so many good punchlines from that movie.
I just show up and just be a complete prick.
I'd have to have diarrhea there. So would you be Harry or would you be Lloyd?
Oh god. Okay, so I have a confession to make. I don't think I've seen that movie from start to finish.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the whole movie. I've just never sat down and watched it start to finish.
Really? That is really disappointing.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna watch it one of these nights.
I love me some Jim Carrey.
I'm gonna fall asleep on your couch. We're gonna watch it.
Yeah, homeboy fell asleep watching Ace Ventura. I don't know.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, well, dude. Do you understand how comfortable your movie room is?
Oh yeah, that room is designed to put people to sleep.
It's 100% what it did.
Yeah,
it took like a half an hour and I was out.
It's fucking cozy. The ottoman's
very cozy.
Ottoman's perfect height to put your feet up. The couch just kind of like accepts you for who you are.
So you get an intoxicant in your system and a bunch of munchies, and you were just like diabetic coma out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that fucking room. You haven't slept for 3 days? I got a room for you.
So I seriously think that'd be funny, like going to each other's like reunions.
So there is another movie involving a high school reunion. Actually, there are 2 movies you should see involving reunions.
So fucking funny. Yeah,
Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
Definitely saw that one.
Okay, that one's fantastic. And then Grosse Point Blank.
Oh, John Cusack?
Yep, and Dan Aykroyd.
I haven't seen that one, I don't think.
They play hitmen, and John Cusack goes back to his high school reunion, and Dan Aykroyd's trying to kill him the entire time.
That's amazing.
It's fantastic.
Really.
It's really good.
That sounds good. I love those two. Dan Aykroyd's gotten a little weird in his older age.
He was
now that he owns a bunch of
this one too.
He owns like a vodka company and like something else.
Doesn't Ryan Reynolds own? No, he owns a gin company. I think.
I think so. Yeah. Diversifying.
He also, money. I think he owns. He owns a professional soccer team in England in like the third
Oh,
tier
no
or some shit
shit.
like that. Yeah.
Well, he also owns pretty much the best looking man face ever.
oh yeah.
He's a handsome
yeah.
motherfucker.
I'd face fuck the shit out of him.
I was like, how are you going to swing this?
I'm gonna be blunt and honest.
What is your descriptor here? Okay, there we go. We're right for it. I'm going to face fuck him. That's beautiful, man. That's love. That is pure love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that'd be a laugh. I don't know. Going back to the
Well,
reunions
I
and
think
stuff.
that's one thing that's good that's coming out of the podcast and doing YouTube and all that kind of stuff.
Is all the gay jokes?
Okay, and the fact that you don't fucking care anymore. Like you just realize like nobody gives a shit.
Nobody
how
gives a shit.
awkward or anything. They just who cares?
No.
Just do you.
Well, the funny thing is, I wish that I was that person when I was in high school.
Oh, same here.
If I would have just been like, get out of my own way and just not given a shit and been like, oh, I like these things. This is who I am. Like, I'm the awkward kid who loves these, death metal bands.
I had a glow in the
Whatever.
dark green, and then I had a pink mohawk in high school.
Nice.
Listened to my System of a Down, my Kill Switch, my Slipknot, and it was just like I wasn't with the goths. But I wasn't with the emo kids. I was just kind of this weird kid. That
Yeah.
was just me.
That's 100% what I was like too, man. It
I
was
liked
just
taking the auto class, and I liked taking art, and I was really good at math. And every other class, I was just like English. I was like, I fucking speak it. What do you want from me?
I know, right? Oh man. Well, let me tell you, dude. High school was also a train wreck for me because if I am not interested in something, my brain shuts off.
Did you ever take like an elective class in high school that you did it just because you needed the credit, but you ended up actually kind of liking the class?
No.
I had one. On my senior year, I actually regret I only did it my senior year. Tanner and I both needed a creative writing class credit.
Nice. Yeah.
So for our senior year, we both wrote for the newspaper, the Denfeld paper.
That's cool. Okay. Yeah, we didn't have anything like that. Because
And-
my school is so tiny, we didn't have shit.
Because we were kind of the two awkward kids in the class, because you had like most of the class was like, we want to make the school a better place and all that. We're like, we're just here because we fucking have to be.
That's awesome.
We would show up late. We showed up late to class one day because we went to Walgreens, and we would come walking to class with a fucking plastic bag with a big red W on it, and we're about 20 minutes late.
Nice.
Our teacher's like, you guys better have a good excuse. We're like, oh yeah, we do. Anybody want a donut?
So you bribed the group.
We just gave everybody donuts, and we sat down and she's like, you got your assignment from last time? I'm like, oh yeah, here, it's all done.
Oh, nice.
And we did our work.
That's a good moment when
We just kind of did our own thing, though.
when you arrive and the teacher's like trying to find a way to give you shit. And it's just like, oh, no, I know what you're talking about. Like, here's the assignment. I'm literally done. They're just kind of like defenseless. They're like, okay,
Yeah. Do you have
moving on.
Is your article ready for proofing? Like, yeah, it's all typed up and everything.
Here it is.
Like, I've done all
There
of
you
my
go.
work. I just wanted fucking donuts, and there was a goddamn line at Walgreens.
Exactly.
Back off.
Oh, man. What was your GPA? What'd you graduate with?
I think I was like right around 3.0. Give or take a little bit.
Oh, buddy.
What?
That's great. That's
Okay,
good.
yeah,
I mean, that's what you would hope
It
for.
was like 2.8, 3.0. I had to take a language class. I ended up taking 2 years of Spanish, which I fucking struggled in. I had such
Yeah.
a hard time learning Spanish.
But did you fail it?
No, I did get a D one semester in that class. I think I passed that class with like C's and B's.
I failed French.
Okay, well, but see, here's the thing. It's
Okay.
like, you're learning a different fucking language by somebody who doesn't naturally speak that language.
Okay. So, I'm gonna tell you what I graduated with.
A 1?
Yep.
Seriously?
I graduated with a 1.8 something or other GPA.
Yeah, I think mine was like a 2.9, 2.8.
Okay.
It was
So they basically, like, I had to take summer school. I graduated, I got to walk, I got to do all the things, but they're like, you need to come back and wrap up a few things. I set the school record since it's history. I set the school record for absentees. Like, my senior year, I'm pretty sure I went to class, like, I don't know how many days there are. I mean, what is there, like 200 days?
Yeah, some shit like that.
Maybe it might be more than that. Actually, it might be like 280 or something like that. I was gone for triple digits days.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
I was gone a fucking lot. Well, and I failed a bunch of shit leading up to it too.
Well,
like I just had horrendous GPA all the way through. They basically said like, we're gonna pass you because we don't want to see you anymore.
Jesus Christ.
It was one of those situations. A lot of teachers. I was a fucking nightmare. Like if I'll be completely honest.
I feel
like,
so sorry for you guys in Atticus. I hope he's not that way when,
and that's
when
the
he's
thing.
a teenager.
And actually, it's really good because I'm super aware of like what the problems were with it. I was like the kid who got in the face of the principal and like threatened him and like, you know,
Instead of just shutting up and just dealing with it and getting by.
well, yeah, exactly. Like I was one of those kids that was just, you know, I was a fucking basket case in high school. It wasn't good. And also like the biggest thing, and this is, you know, like you had said, it makes you wonder what Atticus and my son is going to be like. So I'm aware of the fact that if I'm not inspired, I don't give a fuck.
That's how I am.
I have to give a shit about what I'm doing or I'm not in it. Like I am so checked out, I literally cannot care.
That's why I had a hard time with history classes. I found them interesting, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I don't give a shit about the revolutionary. Like, okay, cool, it happened. I'm glad it happened, but I'm never gonna need this information. Like that was my problem. Is like, when is this ever gonna be important to me? Teach me stuff I'm gonna need as an adult.
It's so funny. I agree.
Like,
you know,
that's why I think I did really good in like woodworking and the auto tech classes I took, because I was like, oh, this is useful stuff. Like they're showing me how to build a nightstand is what we built with a slide out drawer and everything. Like they showed me how to use all the tools.
Practical.
It's like, that's very practical. Mm-hmm. Show me that kind of stuff. I don't care about, you know, well, World War II, there's a lot of interesting history there, don't get me wrong.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm never going to use this information in my routine.
Yeah. So, okay. My feeling on like the whole, like how you develop a curriculum, I'd have to give it a little bit more thought, but I actually think you make a good point. Like so I'm really into history now, because I'm old enough that I'm a part of history.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You've
when I was
lived through some stuff.
When I was a teenager, I didn't give a fuck. And I think it's almost like history classes are wasted on the youth because they don't really give a shit. Now, if it's big and bold or it's in recent history, they give a shit.
Yeah.
Emancipation Proclamation, World War II, you know, anything Nazi related. What other, you know?
I think you could almost say anything involving the Germans. You could almost blame Hollywood for why teenagers are somewhat interested in it.
Oh, because there's been so many movies.
They're always the bad guys.
Yeah.
You need a bad guy, pick a Russian or a German person.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I feel like those things maybe you can grip a teenager with, but for the most part, like they're not really going to be that engaged in it, because if it isn't something that I think relates, I don't know. Personally, I think that we should be taking classes for our entire lives.
So we had one history teacher in high school that I remember. Her name was Mrs. Ballavance. She kicked ass because the way she taught history, we would spend like a month on a certain time period, and then she would end it, and we'd watch a movie the final week.
Oh,
on
nice!
It.
Yeah.
So like we watched Gladiator at one point in time because we were talking about the Romans and stuff for an entire month.
That's super cool, and that actually works. I know it sounds like, oh, well, you're wasting a couple of class periods by like watching a movie. Yeah, but these kids get to take what they'd heard, and they're thinking like, oh, cool, I get to watch a movie at the end of this.
Sometimes.
So they're applying it.
Sometimes.
Oh.
For the medieval portion that we went through, the movie of choice, if I remember correctly, was A Knight's Tale.
I love that
Which
movie.
is a super, super fun movie, but historically, it's not accurate by any means.
No.
But she was
No,
like, it's
not
just
at all.
really fun, so we're going to watch this.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's the best. Yeah. It's the
what
that's
else were
one of
you
my
gonna
all-time
watch?
favorites. I adore that movie.
I need to watch that. It's been years since I watched it, but I remember laughing my ass off at it.
It's really funny, and it's surprisingly heartfelt. I adore that movie. Like, I go way back with Heath Ledger. He was like one of my original like favorite actors ever.
One of your heartthrobs as a teenager?
Well, I don't know. Like he was just in all the movies that I fucking loved. Like,
Fair enough.
yeah, like he's a beautiful man, was a beautiful man. But like beyond that, he was 10 Things I Hate About You was like one of my favorite movies ever. It was my favorite for the longest time. He was in that. He was in, A Knight's Tale was another one of my favorites. He was in, the Batman movie. He was a fucking
masterpiece.
literally, like, I saw that and I was like, he's a god. He's a fucking god. Like,
So-
the character he created.
Speaking of Batman, I got.
We're all over the place, so let's
Yeah,
let's wrap up. What were we talking about? The school thing.
School.
School.
Stay in school, kids.
So
Wrap done.
we so as far as like my son in like learning from history, and you can probably apply this with your boy too, because they're going to be cut from the same, or they are cut from the same cloth. So you have to assume that a lot of that is going to kind of translate, or it's gonna be passed on to them. So for me, looking at Atticus, I'm gonna have to kind of watch him and see what kind of how well does he pay attention, like what intrigues him, does he engage when he's in a non-hands-on situation, that kind of thing, and go like, okay, well, he's showing the same signs as me. If a teacher's just standing in front of the classroom and just talking at you, you kind of space off, whatever. And when I got bored, I did drugs. That was the problem.
Jesus.
Because I stopped giving a shit and I started taking some shit.
Yeah, I
You know?
didn't do drugs. I just drew myself or drew on paper or whatever.
That's cool. That's
Which is probably
cool, man.
why I have so many tattoos now.
That's not a bad thing, but it's still you weren't. Well, you got a decent GPA though. That's.
I had
but
to because I played soccer, so you had to keep a certain GPA.
That's true. I didn't give a fuck about sports. I should have. I was actually pretty good, but anyway. So with your son, do you have any concerns? I mean, do you think anything's gonna be passed on?
I just
or
don't want
you...
him to shit himself while he's at school.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
No, So I think Harper's gonna be a little bit more of the hands-on type kid. She just seems that way. She likes being out in the garage. She likes helping me build stuff, things like that. Roman is our sensitive child.
So he listens really well.
He listens pretty well, but I don't know. I just think he's gonna be more into the arts.
Nice.
I think he's gonna
Yep.
really appreciate art class and drama. I could see him getting into a writing class just because of the way he's got a big heart, but he shows it. He's very emotional. He shows his feelings very well. As Harper's not like that. She's just like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm doing me.
Right. Well, I could see that for sure. Because, she's a little more of a blunted instrument.
Yep.
Like, she's like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm going to go do this. And then if there's any, like, roadblock, she's kind of like, why are you in my way?
Yep.
Right? Like, she battles with her brother all the time. Like,
As
you guys have to correct her a lot.
I could see him getting into music and, like I said, joining the drama club, all that kind of stuff. He loves helping Christine practice the piano. When I'm practicing
That's
the drums,
cool.
he likes trying that stuff and all that. So I just think that's what he's gonna be into. He's gonna be more into, like I said, the arts.
Your son blows my mind with his focus on a single activity.
Oh yeah, if he's passionate about something, that's all he'll fucking do.
Your son, and this is why I honestly think that like your son might be a frisbee golf professional. He is 3 years old.
Yeah, he can throw on a good throw. He's throwing 50 feet.
How about so I'm just gonna make the point of his focus. This fucking kid, when we were over there the last time, an hour?
Yeah,
Maybe an hour plus. The kid just sat there and threw discs at the tee or the goal or whatever.
yeah, the basket.
He threw the entire. This is
That's all
a
he does.
3-year-old.
That's all he does.
My son cannot stay focused on shit. He won't stay focused on anything unless it's maybe cars. But you'll capture his attention for 15, 20 minutes, and then he's trying to move on to the next thing and terrorizing whatever.
He's at the point where let's see here. He's played every single course in Duluth with the exception of the 2 at the ski resorts. Mm-hmm. He has not played Montauk. He's not played Spirit Mountain. He's played. And when I say play, I'm talking the entire 18 holes.
And here's the kicker: he's good.
Yeah.
Your 3-year-old can throw a 15-foot basket.
So we went and played Lincoln Park, which is a quick 9-hole course, and I had like a 45-foot putt, and I go first, and I came up short. It was just pretty much a layup, and he goes up, he winds up, and he hits the cage. So
45 feet?
He was 45 feet away. If he would have thrown the thing 6 inches higher, he would have made it.
Okay, so in how many, like a month or a month and a half since I saw him, he's throwing that far now.
Yeah, he can throw about 45 feet.
I'm telling you, if that sport becomes an Olympic sport, is it?
No, it's not an Olympic
If
sport
it
yet.
becomes an
They do
Olympic
have a pro
sport,
tour.
he will be in the Olympics.
I think he's gonna stick with it. Like he's already been bugging me through this week. He's asked me multiple times. He's like, "Dad, throw."
No shit.
And I'm like, "Buddy, I'm working on the car." So I told him like this weekend we will get out and play.
That is so badass.
So possibly tomorrow morning or Saturday morning, I'm gonna take him out and go at least go play a course with him real quick.
So if you look at like sports where honestly, like you look at pretty much any sport or Olympic sport, a major baseball, football, soccer, whatever, basketball. The best athletes are the ones who started the earliest. Snowboarding, it blew my mind.
Shaun White was like 15 and
Shaun White was a 15-year-old like phenom. You could not beat him. But the kicker was he started at like 4 years old. So the people that you start, the kids that you start like incredibly early and they have an aptitude for something, they will go on to be the best, period. So your son, he's not only is he super interested in it, which is half the battle, he's actually really good.
So
it's fucking nuts.
The funny thing is we went to a family.
You need to start filming him doing that.
I have some shots of him in the backyard sinking 30-foot putts and stuff.
That's fucking wild.
We went to a family picnic last Sunday, and my stepdad was playing catch with him. And Roman primarily throws forehand, which is when you throw like this, like a sidearm shot. That's his dominant. He can easily get 45, 50 feet with that shot. A couple of times, though, he threw backhand, which is the traditional way you'd throw a frisbee. And the funny thing is he threw, I shit you not, he threw a shot about 10 feet off the ground, dead fucking straight to my stepdad, who was about 40 feet away.
Holy crap.
Just fucking ripped one. And I'm looking at him, and like his form was really good. He followed through nice. He had a good snap. And I'm like, you don't even practice that. You primarily throw forehand, and you just turned around and threw a backhand shot just as fucking far.
Yep.
Like, you don't understand, kid. I do
That's
field work.
so
I will go out
nuts.
to a field, a couple weeks before a tournament every day for half an hour and just throw to work on my shots. And you're going to kick my ass by the time you're 16.
Before that.
No, easily.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's an 8-year-old that is outperforming his parent.
They do have junior classes in some tournaments. So when he's old enough to understand the rules and he gets like really into it, I have no problem being like, okay, buddy, if you want to go play a tournament down in the cities this weekend,
yeah, man,
let's go. I'll caddy for you. Let's go play a tournament. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, that's mind blowing how good that kid is.
Yeah, and the funny thing is too is Harper likes watching Disney movies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He'll watch disc golf videos with me. If I'm watching a disc golf tournament, he has no problem sitting there for 45 minutes and watching disc golf.
Wouldn't it be a shame if he's just like fucking incredible at disc golf and then one day he just decides like, I don't give a shit anymore? Even though it's like, oh my God, you're on a path to be like, an Olympian. You're going to get gold someday, kid.
Our buddy Glenn is really big into it as well. And I keep telling Glenn, like, he's my retirement plan. When he gets old enough to like join the pro tour and get good, like, I have no problem buying an RV and just driving the country with him.
I'm not even kidding you. One of my thoughts was like, okay, you got video of your 3-year-old sinking a 30-footer? Send that off to your favorite brands.
It's funny you say that.
And just be like, hey, just so you guys know, I'm creating somebody you're probably going to sponsor later.
Well, technically, I already created him. But
yes. I created, this is my spawn. He's legally mine.
One of my favorite pros that I watch, his nickname is the Human Highlight Reel, because he's just notoriously known for throwing crazy shit. This guy on a good drive can throw like 600 feet.
Jesus.
But he has a vlog and he'll do like the shot of the day. And I've ran it by Christine. Like if I get a shot of Roman sinking a crazy shot, are you okay if I send it to him? She's like, oh yeah, that's just fine. So I'll have a couple videos I'm gonna send him and be like, this is my 3-year-old just slaying putts.
Do it, dude. I mean, like, we'll post it on Dad Mods.
It blows my mind how passionate that kid is about disc golf.
God, that's so badass.
Doesn't care too much about cars, but he likes
your
disc
daughter
golf.
does.
Yeah, Harper loves it.
Well, my son is just an absolute nut job about cars and stuff. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do with that. Like, that's his aptitude. He lives and breathes it.
I think the biggest thing is just don't force anything on him.
Yeah, pretty much. Just roll with their interests.
I don't tell Harper she has to be out in the garage. If she asks and it's something she can help with, like, okay, cool. Like, she helped me line up the transmission the other day. The shifter is all lined up.
That's right. Yeah, that was super
Yeah,
cool.
I just-
Sit in the car and just let me know when the shifter is centered.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's your job, kid. And she loved it. She thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. I mean, I look forward to when my son has the patience that I can have him out in the garage.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is they have to understand if you say no, it's for their own safety.
That's exactly it.
If I say
yeah.
no, you can't help with this, it's because it's really, really dangerous. Like putting the motor back in. I want to help. No, because if something goes wrong, it's going to kill you.
Yeah, and the problem is like, you get your hand caught between the firewall and the engine or something like that when I'm dropping a motor in, it might break your hand.
Yeah.
And here's the worst part. When you're an adult, you're a 30-year-old and you fucking break a finger or something like that. Fireworks, okay. You'll bounce back from that. If you're 5 years old,
Oh, it'll fuck with you forever.
it will change your future. Yeah, so it's like you you got to be so careful about that shit. So yeah, when it comes to the garage, there's so many risks, so many
and
dangers.
No, not only that, but it's like as somebody who does this stuff for a living, it's like I know the way I can put my body into situations and get away with it. Like I know my body's limits. I know if I put my hand in a certain area, I know whether or not it's gonna fit, and if something goes wrong, I can pull it back out quick enough.
Oh,
just
for
just from
sure, yeah.
doing it for a living. She doesn't know that. She doesn't know her limitations.
Yeah, so it's like her hand might be stuck in something and she's not going to pull it back fast enough, or she's not going to know to move it a certain way to avoid something.
Yep.
Yeah,
She'll
exactly.
say that it's stuck when really she just needs to go like that and slide it out.
Exactly. And that's a big part of why I don't let my son out here.
The classic dad, I got my head stuck in the railing, and you're like, oh, push your head down, twist. Okay, look, it slid right out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that is such a thing. Yeah, man, I know. It's cool because like you want to get your kids involved and you want them to be out, working with you in the garage and seeing the process, but it really is like waiting for the right time and right place. It's a huge part of it.
Yeah. So I'm just happy. The number one thing, if you're a new parent, the best advice I can give you is get your kids involved in shit that you like as well, because it makes parenting easier.
For sure.
Like I said, don't force anything on them. But if you like football and your kid likes throwing footballs with you in the backyard, well, guess what? When you hang out with your kid, it's a little bit more fun.
For sure.
If they're into cars and you're like, we're going to go to a car show today. Cool.
Yeah.
I want to go to a car show, and now you want to go to a car show.
That's all my son wants to do. Yeah.
That sounds like a win.
Like my little man, he loves a scooter. So I've got a Honda Ruckus, and he absolutely loves the thing. So what we do is we ride on the alley. So he stands on the gas tank, and I sit on the seat. So he's just kind of between my legs, and he's holding onto the handlebars. So my legs help keep him from falling off the sides.
Awesome.
We both wear helmets, we wear our gear, and then we just ride up and down the alley.
That's
and that's the
fantastic.
extent of it.
It's like Harper with the Grom.
Loves it.
It's like, okay, like just hang on tight. Here's your helmet. We're not going to go fast. We're not going to go. She wants to go downtown one of these days. It's like, we're not doing that.
Oh, man.
But it's
yeah.
like, we can put around West Duluth a little bit. Like, yeah, just get them involved in the same stuff you do. If anything, you're just opening their minds open to more things they might be into.
Oh, for sure.
And
For
sooner or later, something's going to
That's
stick.
the exciting part.
And they'll be passionate about it. And that's what they're going to want to do for a living. Or it's what they're going to want to be, for hobbies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, man. Well, tell me a little bit about where the E30 is at, so we can tell the people.
It's over in my garage, which is like 2 miles that way.
I think it's actually like less than a mile.
It's because it's 0.8 miles from my house to Denfeld, which is about the halfway point.
Okay, so it's a mile.
I only know this because when I do run, which isn't often anymore, unfortunately, because I'm busy. It's,
Same here.
I just know my routes all bad. Okay, so it might make power cruise. I think the two things that are going to hold it up is if there's any issues with the drive shaft, which is currently being made, hopefully.
Yeah, it should be done tomorrow.
I would think so. We might have to go to a single piece drive shaft instead of a two piece, just because the yoke on the Nissan side is bigger than the drive shaft on the BMW side. So I'm waiting for a phone call on that. The other big issue is the downpipe off the turbo. I was hoping I could run the factory one, but it hits the steering column. So I ordered up a flange with a V-band on it, and I have pipes and some more V-bands and stuff like that, and it's going to have to be custom made. I have one buddy who's probably the best fabricator I know. or one of the best fabricators I know.
Oh, thanks, man.
Okay,
No, it's not me.
I said buddy.
Somebody I respect.
Yeah, somebody I'm not going to call a douchebag too. Actually, we
yay.
work together, so we say all sorts of horrible things
I
to
was
each
gonna
other.
say, like, I'm pretty sure you insult him plenty.
So he's going to Vegas on Sunday, and I primed this stuff, which should be here tomorrow, but they might show up Saturday. So I have a plan B of another buddy who's got a TIG that'll knock it out. Hopefully all that lines up, but the electrical is officially done other than one ground. Apparently there's a ground off the alternator I have to figure out real quick just to make sure. But all of that's hooked up. It's the 12-volt ignition switch for the fuel pump relay. Fuel pump's got going, fuel lines. And then I get the fun task of figuring out what all the vacuum lines and the coolant lines go to and hooking all that stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, it's done. Like my fans aren't hooked up yet, which is fine. I can figure that out down the road a little bit after the car turns over. But the shifter is in. All of the radiator stuff's hooked up. Intercooler, all the piping's hooked up. The intake is now modified and hooked up. I got my nice big
Hell
green
yeah.
honeycomb mushroom looking
Yeah.
filter in place.
Your 2005.
Oh yeah,
Air filter.
Oh, it's straight 2005, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
It's if you flip through Euro Tuner, Super Street, Honda Tech, I think was another one.
Super
back in the day.
Street, big time.
Super Street for sure, but
Yeah.
pick up anyone in the early 2000s and just look at an article involving an SR20, an RV, or a 2J motor of any sort, and you'll see this green fucking mushroom air filter. And I loved it. I just loved it.
They all had it for whatever
They all
reason.
had it, and I just loved it. I don't know why. And so this is my first proper build. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking do that. So I did.
Well, and it's also beneficial because it's got really good clearance.
It's got really
you know?
good clearance. It's got really good airflow, and it's cleanable. It'll keep moisture out nice because it's a sponge filter. So that's actually a good use for it. It just looks
Yeah,
kind of ricey.
it's so funny. Well, I'm stoked because you're so fucking close, and that's
right there.
It's gorgeous too. Like
It
that
is. It's turned
cannot
out nicer
be
than I expected.
Overstated how fucking clean that engine bay is turning out.
Yeah,
There's no bullshit in it.
My only gripe is there is a spot by the firewall where there's the boost controller, the igniter's there. Like it's just kind of a cluster. There's no good place to put any of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. We
And
can clean that up later on.
yeah,
though.
and maybe next winter I'll just modify the harness. I'll tuck it all under the dash or something like that.
Sure, extend everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but for now it's like it'll be fine. It'll work. But it looks factory.
It does.
Everything else looks factory on it. 100%.
It is mind blowing how much it looks like that motor belongs in the chassis.
Yeah, clearances all work out really well. I removed the power steering pump, so I'm gonna be deleting the power steering for now. And the funny thing is you can either reach everything from on top or reach everything from underneath that motor. Stupid simple.
Yeah.
It's all really easy to get to. It's very easy
Honestly,
to work on.
dude, I think the SR20 looks more at home than the M20 does.
Oh yeah, completely. The M20
Like-
looks like a garbage mess.
Like the M20 looks like somebody forced a straight six into a 4-cylinder car.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like
It
it's
is
impressive
cool.
that they, especially with the B25, which is the high performance version, it's really neat. But when you have like like the SR under the hood, you go, why the fuck didn't they do this in the first place? Why didn't they do a turbo 4-cylinder?
It all flows nicely.
It's mind blowing.
The only thing that doesn't flow super nice is the intercooler piping. Like I won't have high beams anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's like if they went with a turbocharged 4-cylinder motor, they could have easily just moved everything forward an inch and it would have given it plenty of room for everything, no problem.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they would have engineered it. They
Yeah.
would have done like a side mount or something like
Exactly.
that, and it wouldn't have even been an issue. But and with yours, like because I'm sure the people are just like, oh fuck, you lost the headlight. Like yes, but
There are other ways we could have done it, but
we'll be able to fit H4s into your
Yeah.
regular low beams anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But what's going to be cool is that in that opening, you're going to see this big fat polished charge pipe.
exactly.
Like the car looks like it means fucking business now.
Yeah,
It's
and
cool, man. I think I'm more excited about it than you are.
No, I am. I'm more exhausted than anything else.
I get
like
that,
I am
yeah.
super excited. I've been taking lots of pictures and sharing it with all my friends, and like I sent a picture to Dylan. I'm like, my car literally gives me a boner. Like I'm not even joking. Like I've never gotten a
It's like,
hard on
ooh,
from a car I own.
That looks good.
And like I go inside and the wife's like, "Oh, are you happy to see me?" Like, no, I was just working on the car. I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
But I'm just tired because I've been putting so much time. I've probably spent 4 vacation days just to have extra. Like I took tomorrow off from work just to work on because it's so fucking close. But I know the first time I drive that thing that all the exhaustion will go right out the window and we'll just be in love. Like this is exactly what I wanted.
Oh, for sure. Or it's gonna rod knock.
And don't say that. Yeah, and then I'll take a whole week off because I'll be doing.
Oh, well, then I
lots
will
of
with you too, because they're gonna tear that motor out and rebuild it.
Yeah, I might be drunk in some videos, but
Right. No, your car, regardless, and I had said this the other day when I stopped by and we were doing some measuring, and for what was it, the transmission,
Drive shaft.
slave cylinder,
drive shaft
yeah.
and slave cylinder, which we didn't have to measure.
All of the hardest shit is done.
It's all the little shit.
The hardest part of if there's something wrong with the motor internally is it's mental.
Yeah.
Because pulling that motor out's a piece of cake.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
beyond
you
that,
can literally disconnect the harness from everything in that car.
yeah,
It just goes 2 plugs.
it's stupid simple. And yeah, we pluck it out and then we rebuild it, and then that costs you a month of your time, whatever, a few bucks. But the most important part is the fact that all of the engineering is done.
Oh yeah.
The motor fits, the charge pipes fit. Like you're gonna have the fuel pump in there. You're gonna like all of these important aspects have already been figured out,
Well,
and it's taken ages, and here we are.
The funny thing about this is there's one part that doesn't fit the build. My brake booster is for an '89 Jetta. Mm-hmm. But like the radiator, all the coolant hoses, other than the heater core hoses, are all SR20 stuff. Like the radiator's for a 240SX. That's not for a BMW.
Yeah, and it fits amazing.
I just put lower tabs on it. That's it. And the intercooler's supposed to be designed for E30s. Like, so everything's either Nissan or BMW. It's really not that complicated.
No, it's really not.
We didn't need a power steering pulley off of a Corvair or something stupid, you know?
Yeah.
A Corvair is a horrible example because I don't think they have
Not
power steerings,
necessarily. They didn't have power steering, but
but you know what I mean. You need,
it is weird shit like that ends up happening.
The bus is a prime example with the way that motor mount works on that 2-liter ABA. I needed a timing belt kit for a 1.8T motor on a 2-liter ABA, so that way my modified motor mount for the bus would fit. Like that's really dumb.
Yeah.
As this is like it's either Nissan or it's BMW.
Yeah, that's true. It is pretty damn straightforward. Well, I mean, that's the situation with the shoebox is like, thankfully, I don't think I've got anything too exotic.
Yeah, your heater
that I
hoses
have to
are a little weird.
Go with.
But
Yeah,
they're not even that
the
weird.
hoses are probably the most unique thing because I've got like, I mean, the heater hoses are meant for like old Plymouths or something like that, or they came off God knows what. But other than that, like for the most part, everything's like super straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, it's super cool. So where we're at with the shoebox, that one has less of a chance of making it to Power Cruise.
So you're taking tomorrow off to help me with my car then, right?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm hustling. I'm doing everything I can to try and get it done because I want it to be there.
Well, I say end of the day Sunday. We'll see what both cars are, and we'll go from there.
Yeah,
If there's
exactly.
a possibility like the shoeboxes will make it and the BMW won't, well, guess what? I'm helping with Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, right,
Well,
right.
Tuesday. Shit, I can't be in the garage Monday or Wednesday next week. I have soccer practice at the
So
coach. Fuck,
Sunday
goddamn
is
kids.
the deadline. Yeah, Sunday is
It's D-Day.
depending on where you're at. Like, unless the car is driving unless it starts by the end of the day Sunday.
Yeah.
That'll be the deciding factor. Yeah. So the shoebox is. So I'm wrapping up the coolant lines. I've fought with getting adapters. Literally a straight fucking adapter. A 1 1/4 inch adapter. And I'm realizing it. I realized it today. The difference. Some brands go with the outer diameter of the fucking hose. That's
dumb. Because I'm sorry.
So
I'm going off of 6 hours of sleep every day.
it's all good. Same here. So
Why
I
would
got
you go after the outer diameter?
that's that one that I got. That's like
That's
it's a
so
1 inch.
effing stupid.
It's 1 inch, and it says that it's for a 1 1/4. The fucking idiots went on the outer diameter.
So
of
it's
it.
shit like that makes you want to find the engineer and just beat him senseless.
Yeah, just punch him in the fucking
just
nuts.
be like, fuck you.
I know.
Like, who does
And the
that?
other one that I ordered, there's no fucking reason why it's so loose. Like it's like 1 1/4 is like 32 or 33 millimeters, and so I ordered a 32 millimeter fucking adapter or whatever, and it came out and it's super loose in there. So I ordered a 34 millimeter, and that's gonna be here tomorrow.
What's funny is we both have really dumb shit like that held us up.
Yeah.
I needed a coupler that was 3 1/4.
Yeah.
Who the fuck makes a 3 1/4 coupler? It's either 3 or 3 1/2.
It's a good thing you found it.
I'm thankful that Amazon got it to me quick enough.
Yeah.
Prime, I will say this. So we never had Prime until 6 months ago. And the wife's like, do we really need it? And I've been ordering so much car shit off of yeah, we're keeping this. At $10 a month, it's a fucking steal.
It's a game changer when you need to order parts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like finding out I needed the downpipe stuff. Instantly ordered everything off of Amazon Prime. And like I said, worst case, it'll be here Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's been like that for me too. Like I've ordered 4 fucking coolant adapters, and I think the 4th one's arriving tomorrow. And it thankfully one of them arrived literally the next day because it must have been in the cities. Another one arrived like it was like a 2-day wait, and then this most recent one it was like it's going to be like another 2.5 days or whatever to arrive here, which is okay. I can make that work.
It is what it is.
Because the other situation was like, I'm going to have to chalk up a chunk of aluminum on the lathe and try and turn this thing and make my own, which is going to cost me 2 hours, maybe a little bit more.
If you fuck it up, let's say you have 2 hours to make it one and it's not right. Guess what you got to do for another 2 hours?
Yeah, exactly.
Try it again.
Well, and you're boring it too. That's the kicker. Is like you're making something that's 1 1/4. Probably want to go a tiny bit bigger than 1 1/4 on the outer diameter. You're having to bore the entire thing out. So you got to start with like a 2-inch chunk of aluminum, which I've got, and then you're cutting it down to shape, and then you're cutting the inside of it out too. And it's not just like running a drill bit through it.
Yeah.
It's like you're using the cutting tools and you're doing passes.
It's got to be fucking precise.
It's got to be perfect. Yeah. So I looked at that and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to make my own. And then I thought more about it and I'm like, no, I'm going to order it.
Are you going to sacrifice an entire night to just doing that?
Yeah, because I found one that was a 34 or 35 millimeter. I don't remember what it was. I think it was 34. 34 millimeter. I just said, fuck it. I'm ordering that. And then I'm going to clamp these hoses down and see what happens.
I see. And that's been the number one thing this project has taught me is focus on one task. And the moment you run into something that's more than just a quick, simple problem solve, write it down and move on to something else. Mm-hmm. Like I always aim to have a win of the day. Like tonight was putting my shifter in. So
Right.
I got my nice Nismo shift knob on there, which the wife gave me some shit about that. She's like, you spent $90 on a shift knob. I'm like, first off, it's original 1996 Nismo shift knob. They don't make this shit anymore.
That's so cool.
Like, secondly, it's in mint fucking condition, and thirdly, it matches the aesthetics of the car perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my win, but it's like running into dumb shit, like trying to figure out the clutch line.
Oh, yeah,
It's like, okay, this is going to be something dumb. We're running into snags. We think we figured it out. Move on to something we can tackle.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
exactly.
Because otherwise you're just
Doing the same thing.
You're just spending hours of time not getting anything done.
Yep. Yeah, so like the shoebox, it was the trying to get the coolant system done, and then I shifted my focus over to like, well, I know I need to make standoffs for the throttle pedal. So okay, well I'm gonna hop on the lathe and I'm gonna turn a couple of standoffs because I am not gonna pay $25 for chrome spacers that aren't gonna be the right inner diameter.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, I'll just turn something, I'll make it myself. Did that. That took me all of like an hour and a half, but no big deal. Moving on, like getting the exhaust ready. I've got to do decent downpipes on the thing, and at least get some exhaust so that the O2 sensor can actually read something and not just like open air.
Just guess.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get those things done, and then hopefully, I'm hoping to try and start it again tomorrow. Go back through the wizard and see.
We might be starting 2 cars tomorrow, depending on how we get done.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
I mean, theoretically, if I get my coolant lines all plumbed and my air lines hooked up, we can see if it at least turns over really nice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to run because I won't have an O2 sensor.
Oh, yeah.
So that
Fuck, that sucks that you're not going to have that one in time. Because that's crucial.
Yeah.
The motor is going to flip out. You'll have to, like, unplug it and reset the ECU. But, yeah. Anyway, I mean, it doesn't matter. You still want to be able to turn it over and see, like, motor sounds great. Okay, it's turning over. Which, I mean, like, the motor's free, so it's really, like, we kind of know what's going to happen. But, yeah. So... I mean, it's still like it's a big win because we went to go and turn that thing over and it fucking started.
Well, and that's just it too. With the fuel and it might actually burble a little bit. It probably will die right away because they're getting no O2 sensor. But
I wonder if it'll actually run.
It might actually.
It might run. It might just go into like alpha N and then like not let you hit boosts.
Limpo mode.
Mm-hmm. Which alpha N is just like it's a different tuning process that takes different parameters. It uses mass air, but it doesn't use oxygen sensors for like calibration. So it's limp mode basically.
Okay.
It's gonna freak out.
That's fine, but then at least I can be like, it all fucking works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it might actually pop off for you, but yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll see where we're at. The shoebox it's close, but there's a million little things. Like the whole steering and suspension in the front end needs to get done. Like you've got an alignment scheduled.
I had an alignment scheduled. That was last week.
Oh shit!
That was Monday.
Yeah. See, mine is like I still got a bunch of loose shit.
But see, here's the thing.
On it.
I can call them up and be like, "You got anything Monday?"
Yeah, that's true.
And like,
I could probably do the
worst
same.
case scenario, I'd bring the car up the day before and just pick it up after work.
Yeah.
I don't really want to leave the car sitting out anywhere because that's a car that's going to grab attention. And I don't want somebody to fuck with it.
Yeah, right.
But if I have to, I have to.
Yeah, well, with mine, I mean, it's going to be a, like, slap it together. I'm going to have holes in the firewall because I'm not going to have stuff sealed up yet. So that's going to kind of suck. You still got to
put a seat in and a seat belt and all of that.
Yeah, I got seat belts to do, which fucking sucks. That's drilling a couple of holes, so I think I can probably get around it. You know, like
you just need a lap belt, don't you? You don't have to have a shoulder belt.
Yeah, they told me all I need is a lap belt for Power Cruise, which is so funny.
Yeah, here's 2,000 horsepower Lamborghinis, but all you need is a fucking
lap belt,
just in case you get smacked.
I love that part of it, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't have super high hopes for it at this point. It's okay. I'm like, even if the car went there, I don't know that I'd take it around the track because I fucked with a lot. Your car, the chassis is the same. You just put a different steering rack in it.
Yeah.
You can trust the chassis. You can trust the brakes. That's all fucking fine.
We did take away the ABS, but again, if I can drive it 2 or 3 days ahead of time,
bro,
we're good.
Your ABS didn't let you stop right sometimes.
I know,
Your ABS kicked in on a dry fucking road.
Don't come at me with this shit, bro.
You coming at me, bro?
I'm in your face, bro.
I'm not your face. Your brakes, I think, are going to work better now that you've deleted all of that.
It's just checking for leaks.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Make sure all of the flaring is good.
Yeah, the shoebox we re-engineered fucking everything. Oh yeah, it's completely. It's a new clip. It's got a whole different brake system on it. Completely different brake system. Completely different steering system. All these things that, like, I wanted to have a couple of weeks of driving this thing before I would even consider taking it out on the track. So if the shoebox makes it, I might beg the guys if they can give me, like, an early morning pass. Like, let me go and take a little cruise around at 6 a.m. and we'll get some glamour shots. I'll, like, beg them and throw $100 at them or something just so I can get a shot of it.
Jake, who's that with you in the camper?
Right, yeah, exactly. I might be gargling some balls to get that. But that's probably the extent of it. So I'm not that heartbroken if it doesn't make it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Whereas the E30 is like, if it'll run and drive, fuck it, take it out there.
Yeah. I don't want to say I'm going to be heartbroken. I'm going to be sad. But if it at least starts and it's just something dumb that I'm waiting on, the drive shaft I'm having issues with or the downpipe, it's out of my control. I'm literally giving it my all to get this thing done in time. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Fuck it.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Fuck it. Let's go bowling, dude.
we've got we have a proper deadline now. Not that Power Cruise wasn't a proper deadline. I'll back that up. We have a new deadline.
Yeah, we adjusted our schedule to fit us better.
Yeah. So if Power Cruise doesn't happen for the cars, we know that we've got a serious debut, and that's going to be the Machines and Caffeine event that's going to be on August 22nd.
Yes, we're not quite sure where yet.
We'll get that locked in. But the
Yeah.
important part is that we're going to have a group, we're going to have a meet event, and we're going to have the cars at it for sure.
Exactly.
Even if we got to tow them down just to show
Push
off
'em.
the progress of them, they'll be there. But I'm pretty confident that gives us like 3 more weeks of finishing these things
Yeah,
up. We
and
can limp them to wherever.
they're so close.
Yeah, they're crazy close. Yeah. So I mean that's gonna be sweet. Regardless, these cars are gonna be on the road real soon.
They're gonna see some road time this year.
Hell yeah, I'm stoked for
yeah.
that.
So excited.
Yeah, man. So, hey, thanks, guys, for tuning in, giving us an hour and 15 minutes of your time. We'll be back next week. This is going to be... Well, actually, we'll be back this week because this is going to be going out
Technically, it's
Power Cruise week. This is going to be coming out right before Power Cruise. So you guys will be seeing us again on the Dad Mods channel with a bunch of shit. We're going to be trying to cover the event
Yeah.
as it's happening.
and we're gonna be as sober as we possibly can.
As we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the videos will be released by 10 a.m.
We're gonna try to, yeah, like not
that's-
2020, but 2019. How we were trying to release videos the day of, and just kind of, giving some kind of eye candy out there for people so that they can
Just the
enjoy
pictures
the
of you and
event.
I. Here's your eye candy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Look at this Lamborghini. And it's just a picture of us, and then you can see a Lamborghini in the distance.
Right, it's just me and my unicorn jammies. Hell yeah, man.
We're wearing a thong.
No, I can assure you that's not gonna happen.
I'd rock one.
Would you?
It's always hotter than hell at
a
Brainerd.
banana hammock.
Yeah, it's always like 98 degrees there. So
It really
a banana
is.
hammock, sure.
Yeah.
Just let everything cool the fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, well, we got to get this thing ready. Oh, that might be something that we got to get figured out.
The fans.
So
Right.
that this thing we can actually edit while we're there.
Well, it works just fine. It's just the fan thing.
Well,
At startup.
editing video on this thing is going to be very taxing on the system.
It's true.
So we'll want to figure that out.
Yes,
But anyway, we're
yeah.
going to try.
No, we're not going to discuss this on the podcast. They
Yeah.
don't want to. They don't want
They
to
don't
hear
give a
this.
shit. Yep. So we're gonna get you guys some videos, some updates on it, some like what's happening.
Yeah.
Maybe do a podcast. Maybe do a live podcast.
Yeah, I think the goal
We'll
is
see.
to do at least a podcast, never the podcast.
We'll see.
But yeah, who knows? It's Power Cruise, so like literally anything could happen.
Literally.
Yeah.
So hey, thanks guys for tuning in to another episode of the Brews with the Dudes podcast. We will try and see you this week and next week.
And all the weeks.
It might not be on this channel.
not?
Make sure that you're checking out the Dad Mods channel.
Yeah, or change it over to Channel 4, public access.
Public access, where I would love if we could do a public access show.
We totally should. We practically are. We have the same viewership.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's the thing. When we looked into it, wasn't public access that you'd have to be filmed at their location?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Which is the funny thing is we could use a location right now.
That's true. That could be the source of the podcast.
Yeah, we just do the podcast down there.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, we're gonna look into this. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you these weeks.
All the weeks. We'll see you all the time.
weeks. All right. Bye bye.
Peace.